All right, taking a live look outside, TransStar cameras at the San Jacinto River at Highway 99 North. Really high waters there with that river. Always a dramatic image. We are tracking rain moving across the Houston area, and we'll have more team weather coverage ahead. As you know, we've been following flooding along the San Jac for days. Our Stephanie Whitfield is back in Northeast Harris County right now with warnings from emergency officials.
This is the East River of the San Jacinto River, and right here is a neighborhood. A lot of the streets right here are blocked with warning signs like this because emergency officials do expect water levels to continue rising today. There were very strong storms in this area this morning, but the rain further north is just as big of a concern. It's because all that water is going to flow downstream. When the river overflows, it floods streets and homes in neighborhoods like this one. A lot of people here have chosen not to evacuate. Harris County Judge Lena Hidalgo is warning high water could be an issue longer than previously expected.
What will likely happen, what we need to prepare for, is people in this area having to be with limited accessibility for longer than we thought. We thought it would be 24, 38, 6 hours. It may be that it goes into the weekend.
There are shelters open in Harris County right now for people whose homes are at risk of flooding. One is the Philippians New Faith Missionary Baptist Church on Angus Street in Houston. The other is at Cavalry Baptist Church in Cleveland. Both shelters do accept animals as long as they're crated. In Northeast Harris County, Stephanie Whitfield, KHOU 11 News.
All right, Stephanie, and we want to make a clarification. People who live south of Lake Conroe, they're not being asked to evacuate, but being urged to prepare for high water. And just into the newsroom, we've learned Cleveland ISD is closed for tomorrow. And take another live look from that TransStar camera of the San Jacinto River at Highway 99. Man, that is some high water there, guys.
Yeah. It's really important to take into account not just the amount of rainfall that we've seen so far, but the fact that we're going to see runoff. And so while you're hearing the push to perhaps leave your home is because once that water rises, you're going to be stuck there. People can't get to you. You can't get out. So if you have any sort of emergency, that leads to a really dangerous and tricky situation. How much rain have we gotten over the last 12 hours? Considerable amounts. I'm talking about 7, 8, 10, a couple of bullseye spots like that one, 15 inches of rain. Right now, a lot of that moisture has pushed south, but again, the damage is done. Spring all the way up into Huntsville, these areas that will continue to see the flood concern through at least 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and impacts after that will follow to our rivers. Right now, the main line of storms that really rattled us downtown here about an hour ago has now pushed over to the bay. We're talking about boats that are shaking, not just from the heavy rain dumping down on them, but also the heavy wind that's pushing to the Bolivar Peninsula here shortly. But more rain is building in behind that. Now, these storms that are moving in from Sealy to Katy, you'll notice they're doing something interesting. Most of them are pushing south. Some of them will try to work eastward, but slowly. And the rainfall is a little bit more tame, especially compared to what we saw this morning. But Chris, again, with the storms we saw Sunday and Monday, now 15 inches of additional rain in the last 12 hours, this is going to cause problems throughout the day.
Yes, it is. And we are definitely keeping an eye on those live flood gauges all across southeast Texas and across Harris County. We had a lot of green. You've seen these green dots, and these are the live flood gauges. We're starting to see those reds starting to trickle in for our northern areas, even near Atascocita, north of Spring, especially Cypress Creek, dealing with some of those heavier rainfall that's causing some possible flooding along those bayous and creeks and rivers. But as we look closer, we have to keep an eye on the San Jacinto River at Humble, as it's now showing observed at 49.56 feet and is expected to crest at 61.1 feet. So that area under a flood warning at the current moment along I-69. We're also having to pay attention to the Trinity River at Liberty. This is already at major flood stage, and there's already been 8 to 10 inches of rain that has fallen north of this location, and now they're still dealing with some rain. Right now observed at 30.18. It's expected to crest at 31.7. So something to keep an eye on as we head into the next few hours, as we are going to be tracking those live river flood gauges heading into at least until later this afternoon. Kim?
Yeah, I'm keeping a close eye on the timing. That's been something that's been tricky with these storms. They're popping up and staying stuck, and then eventually they feel a push from a gust front and from a shortwave, and that's what will muscle these out of here finally. So when is that going to happen? Here's what we're looking at right now. So the storms that are pushing towards the bay, and then more storms building out ahead west of town that will continue to push in. They could bring down another round of some heavier storms by 2-3 o'clock, and this will be the last push. This afternoon, this morning, afternoon, and evening, as we continue to monitor those river flood gauges, will be the most impactful. So you just have to stay inside, be really careful, and monitor the forecast closely today. Things will get better after the next couple of hours. So that's a snapshot at 2:30. Heavy rain downtown pushing towards the bay by about 4 o'clock when you're picking up the kids from school or when you're headed home from work. Things clear out. The next rain chance tomorrow overnight is more scattered, and then Saturday's rain chance lessens even more. This is a full look at the 7-day forecast. So today is the heavy rain impact day. Tomorrow we're still reeling from those levels receding and the runoff moving in. Saturday, Sunday, it's all about the temperatures starting to climb upper 80s, and then we're tracking low 90s into next week. We'll be right back after this break.